Well, New England has set a new record when it comes to life-saving organ donations. 648 deceased donors contributed more than 1,500 transplants in 2024.
That is the fourth consecutive year of growth and marks an 80% increase in organ donations since 2020. Joining us now is the CEO and president of New England Donor Services, Alex Glazer. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here.
Can you start by telling us about your organization and what exactly you do?
Absolutely. So, New England Donor Services is the nonprofit organization that is designated by the federal government to coordinate deceased organ donation and transplant throughout the region. So, of course, that includes Maine. And we're responsible for all components of deceased organ donation. So that includes making sure the public understands the need for organ donation. It includes identifying opportunities for organ donation when that happens, which means we work in close collaboration with over 200 hospitals in the region. And then we send staff on site when there's an opportunity for organ donation. We work with the families, we check the donor registry. And when there is an organ donation, then we coordinate all components of that. We work with the national system to identify potential recipients. And we work with our transplant hospitals, including Maine Medical Center, to make sure that the right organ gets to the right recipient at the right time. So as you can imagine, it's an incredibly complex system. Our staff are on the ground working 24/7, 365 to make sure this happens. And we're incredibly just privileged to see the best of humanity in the most difficult of circumstances. Over this past year and the past several years, as you've noted, we've seen growth in organ donation, and it's really a credit to the donating public and the generosity of people to want to do more for others that they don't know, but they know are in need.
Let's talk about that, about the numbers from last year and how significant they are for you guys.
Right. So, as you mentioned, we saw incredible growth last year, but it's not isolated. There's been a trend. So, this past year, we saw 18% growth over the prior year. But when we look back over several years, we're seeing year over year growth. And in fact, there's been an 80% increase since 2020 in organ donation in our region. And when we look specifically at Maine, it's been even more substantial. There's been over 100% increase in organ donation in Maine over that same time period since 2020.
Incredible. And how big of a difference can one person really make as a donor?
The difference and that impact is quite substantial. So one single organ donor can save multiple lives. It can be 4, 5, 6, 7 individuals whose lives are saved through organ donation. And the impact through tissue donation can be even more substantial. So when we talk about tissue donation, this is things such as corneas, skin, and bone. This can heal up to 75 individuals through those grafts. And it's not just the individual recipients whose lives are touched through the transplantation, but it's also their family, their community, who benefit then from that legacy, that gift of life that's given through the donation.
What do you think is behind the increase in donors? Is this just maybe people knowing more about it, increased exposure?
Well, I think it's multifactorial, really. I mean, clearly things like getting the message out, like our discussion here today, are making an impact. We are seeing increases in donor registration. And so, by the way, I want to make sure that all of your viewers know it's as simple as going to registerme.org, or you can make your designation as a donor when you renew your license. You can do it online, registerme.org. You can do it through your health app on the iPhone. So I think these things are making a difference. But there's also a bunch of other things that are coming together all at once to really drive these improvements. We know that our own staff are engaging with families a little bit earlier at the end of life discussion, at the time that there's a death in the hospital. And when we're doing this, we're making sure then that we're not interfering with the donor family's timing at the end of life, and that this is driving improvements in the whole system and process so that families are able to say yes more often. So that's a benefit. There's also innovations in donation and transplantation that enable the system then to utilize more organs from donors who have said yes to donation. These are things like medical devices that allow for the perfusion of organs after they've been donated before they are transplanted, so that the viability of the organs remain higher. And again, the utilization then is increased. Also, the things like employment of surgeons directly by organizations like mine to ensure that we have robust staffing so that as the clinical activity is increased, we're able to meet that need and demand all hours of the day and night. All of these things really come together, I think, at once to show this growth. And I should add that our organization is one of the largest, I think we're the third largest organ procurement organization by clinical activity now in the nation. And we're really shine as an example of what's possible in life-saving transplantation.
Have you seen any other trends or, as far as last year's numbers go, when it comes to the type of procedures or organs or who benefited the most from the donations?
Well, I think, everyone wins from this kind of donation. We know that donors and their families see a benefit in terms of helping to heal from their grief, to know that something positive has come from what's often an incredibly tragic situation, that legacy has a powerful impact for donors and their family. And really, I think it's so important to express the gratitude because life-saving transplant is only made possible through the generosity of our donors. So we have to say that right up front. Of course, others who benefit are those who are waiting, and we've already discussed the incredible life-saving impact and life-healing impact that even one single donor can have on those who are waiting. I should mention that, there were 124 Mainers who benefited from transplantation this past year. So this circle of impact is quite large. And the entire system really shines. The US leads the world in its system of organ donation and transplant. And so it's something that I think we all should be proud of. And certainly in Maine, with its high rate of organ donation, should be, pleased and continue to work to improve and drive this life-saving work that all of us are engaged in.
Alex, we have like 10 seconds left. Is it just as easy as marking on a driver's license or go to a website?
It is just that easy, and that 30-second decision can save a life or multiple lives. So we urge everyone to check that box.
All right, registerme.org. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Appreciate it. Thank you.